Good Monday morning, YouTube. We're back out here in the shop. Gonna do a little buffing on these Super Duty parts we painted last week. I got some dust, and looking them over, I found a little unsightly flow indicator, or some people might call it a run or a sag. I'm just gonna knock those out, just little ones in the corners here. I'll show you a couple little tips on doing that, or how I do that. I'm gonna bring in a Duramax that needs light body work and just some fresh paint here and there. It's a Tennessee truck, so it's not real rust or rot or anything, just a little bit to do on the bed sides. I'll probably respray the bed, respray the rockers, and respray the hood, or at least the leading edge of the hood, and blend it. So that's what you'll see today. We'll get these panels buffed up, a little bit of work on the Harley, and more or less getting Bentley set up to work on the Harley, and some paint prep on the Duramax. So here we go. All right, so I got you down in here close to where I think, and I hope, you can see this little run right here, right out of this body line. So I'm gonna start by using a single edge razor blade that I've done 2 wraps of tape on the outside edges and just left my center. It's brand new. I'm gonna run it just about straight up and down, right over this run. I don't know if you can see what I got going on here. I'm knocking down the highest point on the run. But what that tape does is hold my edges up off the rest of the paint and keeps from digging in on my edges. This takes a lot of the sanding out, and the trouble with sanding sometimes is if you use a soft block or whatever you're using to wet sand it, sometimes you'll just follow the run and you'll wind up sanding too much on the outsides of it. So this here has a way of knocking it flat before you sand. Say right there, I'm getting pretty close to where I'm going to try to run the sanding block over it. See where we're at. I'd say we're real close now. This little edge here knocked down. We'll see what 1000 grit soft block will do to that. A little sanding sponge. See if we're close. foam blocks, they seem to work pretty good. Especially
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so.
here in the wide open, we're just gonna go after our biggest little nubs. Knock those a little bit, so you can't really see them, but I can feel them. You probably definitely can't see them on the camera. And really, there's not very many. This gate actually came out very clean for for this shot. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna skip the 1,000. We're gonna go right to 1,500, and mostly concentrate on the area I just knocked that little nub out. Knock that flat, because I can see it right now. You can see it when it's wet and I'm sanding it. I'm just slowly working my way out a little bit farther and going over it, multiple angles. And applying just a little more pressure every time I go over that little nub. I'm just coming apart somewhere. There we go, it's almost disappeared there now. And I can't explain the pressure, but I'm just giving a light pressure. Light pressure and letting it do its thing. And just a little slighter, more aggressive pressure when I'm trying to work a spot like that. I think I just about got that to disappear. So now I'm gonna go down to my 2,000. Go around the whole thing generally. Staying away from the edges if at all possible. If I don't have any issues on the edges, you're better off just staying away from sanding on edges. I sanded over an edge down here. In this case, I know what's on here for clear because I know I put on 3 heavy coats. So I know I have plenty to go after. And I could have started a little more aggressively with 800. But as these blocks go, I start at 1,000, and like I said, for the most part, it seems to work out. If I have something that just won't give up, I get aggressive with 800. And as far as if I was doing an entire vehicle or something higher end, I go beyond the 2,000 block. I have 3,000 and 5,000 on a soft pad on my DA, and I go right over the whole thing and then buff it. You guys saw the video yesterday. You saw that we picked up a little Harley that I showed you here this morning again with Sportster. We had an up pipe blow on our turbo on our Duramax. That'll be going to the shop to get fixed / upgraded. Possibly upgrade my fuel system while it's there. I don't know. We'll see how the week goes and how much money I'm gonna pour into my truck. I'm investing money into the shop currently, and well, a little motorcycle flip and a few other things I have in the works. I've been investing money places to try to make a little extra money out of my money, but as for right now, the truck has to get fixed, so it's going to definitely get that. We'll see what else it gets above and beyond just fixed. But all right, let's see what this looks like. Again, that was the 2,000 grip, so that's the final step before buff in this case. So if it looks good, I'm done sanding on this side. I think I like it. Alright, I won't bore you with the sanding process on the other side. I'll throw it on time lapse and I'll come back and show you what we do to buff it. Alright, so here we go with buffing. Again, there's many different ways to do this. Different options of tools and products and whatever. I'm gonna go straight and simple. I'm gonna use 2 different products, and I'm gonna use 2 different pads. I'm gonna use a wool pad and a foam pad, and we're gonna show you how we do it. First off, we're gonna use fancy tool paint stick, clean this out. Now, we got a couple of 3M products. We're going to start with this Super Duty rubbing compound. I'm going to start nice and slow, work the product around. is a 3M pad on a 3M backer. And they don't like to attach very good. That's better. Same thing, just very light pressure, just enough pressure to keep it where you want it really. Don't let it take off. Stay away from your edges. Try to hold it more or less flat. Little pressure onto one side, but don't run it like this. You'll see me run it like that if I'm trying to do a little corner or body line, but more or less try to keep it flat, just like you were running a DA. So I'm gonna kick my speed up a little bit now and just start working some heat into it. And I might have to add a little product, but we'll see what we got with what's here. I'm gonna give that another go. Switch over to the foam pad. Get a bit of this dust blown off. Now with the foam pad, again, 3M rubbing compound. This is more of a finer product, not as aggressive as the heavy-duty rubbing compound that we used to begin with the wool pad. Same thing, start slow. And work some speed into it. quick little buff, more or less. I was worried about the little run I had going on in the corner. Knocked out some of the fine dust. You saw the 2 steps of, well, you saw the essentially 3 steps of wet sanding, 2 steps of buffing, and then I just hit it with a little quick detailer just to wipe off any residue, clean it up. Yeah, that's that. I'll move on to a quick knockout that front bumper, which is just going to be a quick scuff and buff. And then I'll show you how we fix the little run on the corner of the rear bumper end. It's a weird corner, so I'll show you how I fix that. On to the front bumper. All right, hope you can see this on camera. This little run right here. I had these hung obviously the other way, so there's a little run right off this corner here. Actually, there's a couple little runs, little sag in this corner. Rest of the bumper corner is clean, the other bumper corner is clean. So I'm just gonna knock that down the same way I did with the run on the gate. I'm gonna grab that razor blade, knock that down, and I'll show you right now. A little more difficult on this little corner, but thankfully it's not up on here. It is more or less flat right here. I was hoping, not for me because it'd make it harder, but I was hoping for the camera that it was, not for the camera, but for you guys, that it was on a little bit more difficult of a corner. I thought it was, but so this is kind of not really much different than the run I already showed you this morning on the flat part of the gate, but nevertheless, I'll show you guys what we do here real quick. I'm going to show you another tool in a minute. Get this knocked down. We're just about there. Don't feel it anymore. Almost don't see it anymore. Stuffy stuff. Alright, let's get a little wet sand there. If anybody local's watching and thinks they might need themselves a nice little Sportster, my vision for it is really 2 different options as I see it, in my opinion. Right now, it's set up nice for a perfect little beginner bike, someone a little smaller, or a woman, not to be sexist or whatever, but
It's set up perfectly for somebody like that. Or the great thing about it is it's already a chain drive bike. So if you want to very cheaply easily make yourself a nice little beginner stunt bike, you're you know, some different T-bars, different sprockets and chain, a step plate, and you know, a little crash bar away from having a cool little beginner stunt bike, I think. And that's pretty much probably how I would set it up if I was keeping it, or if I was planning on doing more to sell it. I think my biggest bang for my buck is to unload it somewhat as it is. I just started cleaning it up and going through it and just, you know, nut and bolting it, checking everything. And I changed some light bulbs, and I Bentley did, but yeah, if you know anybody local, or if you are local and looking for something like that, before I do too much in a certain direction to it, if you're interested, message us and let me know. It's probably gonna be, I don't know, if I do a couple things, I'm thinking probably $3,500. Make a little bit of money on it. That's obviously the name of the game. I got a good deal. You can still get a good deal. It's an average price on a little Sportster. And this one, you know, I see another couple local ones that have been sitting and need gone through, or just need this or just need that or whatever, and they're $3,500, $4,000. So I feel like $3,500 for this one that I'm gonna kind of clean up and go through. And like I said, it has the option to be a beginner stunt bike pretty easily. So I think that's a desirable little thing. I know before I got it, when I was thinking about it, I watched a few YouTube videos, you know, chain drive 883s, and there's a lot of people that say they love wheeling and stunting these little Sportsters more than the Dynas. The Dynas obviously have more power, and when you're not a beginner anymore, you can do more with the Dynas. But if you're just starting out, or just want to have fun, or just want a cheap bike, I mean, I don't think you're going to set up a stunt Dyna for, you know, $4,000. But all right, I think we got that knocked down. Show you the new, not new, but new to this process for you guys, little tool we're going to use right here. All right, so here it is. Little parts like this, motorcycle parts, small spots you're buffing, if you're just buffing a small spot on something, little 3-inch mini buffer. That's what we'll hit this corner with. Same process, wool pad with the Super Duty rubbing compound to begin with, and then a foam pad and the finer rubbing compound. So here we go. detailer. And just like that, the run is gone. So, much like always, we're open and transparent. Anybody that tells you that don't get runs, well, they're either some sort of a wizard, or I'd hate to see how dry their clear looks. Runs happen to the best of us. That's how you take care of it. So, if you're experimenting and messing around and painting your own stuff and you get runs, well, don't think that you gotta sand the whole car back down and spray it again. Some scenarios, sometimes you are best knocking everything flat with like an 800 grit and then giving another round of clear. But in scenarios like this, we save it. If we didn't save it, well, then we go the route of sanding it and re-clear it. But there it is, it's done, it's all set. That's the process, or not the process, but a process of doing it, getting it done with minimal tools and materials that any of you guys can pick up anywhere. Any of this stuff that I'm using, I get at my local O'Reilly's. It's 3M stuff. My buffer is it's called vapor, whatever that says. Through Cornwell Tools. My father-in-law is a Cornwell tool dealer. But you can have the same success with a Harbor Freight, buffer polisher. I don't know what they call those, 7-inch, 8-inch, whatever it is. So you guys don't need to have the best of the best tools, the best of the best environment. Obviously, we spray in here, we get dust, we get runs, we clean it up, and we have decent paint jobs. So you can do the same thing, and this is how you finish it off. So now we'll kick this stuff out, get the shop cleaned up a little bit, get the bike set up in one corner for Bentley to mess around with, and drag in a Duramax to start doing some paint prep on. All right, Ford parts are buffed up, reassembled, and out the door. Next up, next victim, it's this little Duramax. More or less just chasing around the thing, doing some paint work. I'll walk you around and show you. Both bed sides are gonna get quick cleaned up, fresh paint, and pretty much the bottom of the truck, body line down is gonna get cleaned up, fresh paint. And I don't think I'm gonna paint the whole hood, but the front of the hood's chipped and peeled, so I'm gonna blend at the crease of the hood. But I'll walk you around and show you a little bit right now. Basically just gonna clean up the bottom. Truck's real solid, just, peeling paint, some issues, but these trucks are easy. I can re-clear to this line right here, which will clean up their brush touch stuff. I'll get a little fresh paint up in there. Top of the truck will stay the way it is. Don't know what we got going on here. I'm assuming it scratched once upon a time, and this is the result. So like I said, it's a, I believe, Tennessee truck. So we will get this ground down, get some good primer on there, get it filled out if we got to. The bottoms of the bed are decent. Looks like we'll leave the tailgate alone. Maybe brush touch a couple chips. Down here looks like we had a previous dent and the filler's popping. So we'll get that ground out, readdressed. Got the same sort of stuff going on up here. Some filler popping, previous ding or scratch or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem like they repaired much. The filler's thin. I don't know really what they were doing, but we'll get that cleaned up. So basically the bed's gonna get fresh paint cleaned up, and the bottom of the truck, this side's a little better, but you know, peeling on the rocker and sandblasted up there. Up here, we just got stuff like that on the leading edge. So I'll feather that out, prime it, get some fresh color down the bottom, and I can blend clear. I can blend clear right along this line here, and that'll clean it up without having to do the whole hood. Then we can just buff the hood up, buff everything we didn't paint up. It'll be a nice clean little truck. Nasty little Duramax. Not a bad truck. I'm excited to clean it up. I'm gonna go in and grab lunch and be back out here and show you what we got going on. All right, we got a little bit of sanding, a little bit of mudding, a little bit of taping, and we're ready for some primer. I think everything's pretty close. We're gonna put the primer to it. We'll probably block it out in the morning, and we'll be ready to go. All right, that's a wrap for today. Got some primer on here. We'll let it set up good overnight. Tomorrow morning we'll get it blocked out, get the rest of the bed sanded out, sand the bottom of the truck and the front of the hood. We'll bag everything. I am gonna bed line the bottom 4, 5, 6 inches. So what I'll do is I will mask everything off like it's just gonna be painted. And then I'll mask my line of bed liner. I'll spray the bed liner, pull that masking, paint everything, clear everything. So it'll be a one shot sort of deal. And this truck will be done and out of here tomorrow, or at least done. I might go play with the bikes for a couple minutes and have some dinner and call it a night. Spend some time with the family. They'll be back from baseball, well, I think any time now, so that's a wrap for today, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.